Hey everybody, it's Austin Ward for Lettermen Row, back with another BuckIQ. Ohio State has won the Big Ten. They've won the game. They've got those gold pants, Zach, that you know so well. And they're heading to Indianapolis to play Northwestern on Saturday in the Big Ten championship game. We're breaking down that defensive effort with Zach Boren, former Ohio State linebacker. And it's kind of a weird one, Zach. Like, I thought there was a lot of progress on display.
Yeah.
There were still 39 points on the board. I'm not going to take anything away from that effort when you beat Michigan so comfortably, but I don't know. How did you come away feeling about that defense?
I love it. Everything about it, it was the silver bullet way on Saturday. Granted, you take 7 of those points off with the kickoff return muff. And then you also look kind of in the fourth quarter when Ohio State was handedly going to win that game is when some of those points came. So I think if you really look at the first half, the third quarter, I mean, the Michigan offense could not do anything. That we talked about last week, right? Last week's the week before's performance against Maryland could not have come at a better time.
Yeah.
And I think everyone saw what kind of refreshed defense looked, knowing that they came out from a win going against their arch rivals in Michigan.
And we've talked about it. We've sort of had this like back or not back with the silver bullet nickname. I mean, is that the kind of effort that deserves that moniker there?
For sure. What they did on Saturday, the electric that stadium had, and they fed off of what the defense could do and set the offense up in great position all game long. They earned the name Silver Bullet.
That atmosphere was pretty great. I mean, it
was insane.
So that helped send Ohio State on to that Big Ten championship game against Northwestern. That defense is going to have one more week now with a trophy on the line, potential for the college football playoff. One more chance to show that improvement that Zach Boren is about to break down for us right here. So let's roll the tape.
Second down and 2 at the 32. Patterson to throw it. In trouble, and he's sacked. Shot out of the cannon, Malik Harrison.
All right, Zach, so this was just the second play of the game. Ohio State's looking to maybe set that physical tempo, send a message early on, and a guy that we've talked about a lot this year, Malik Harrison, firing away and getting a sack.
I love this play. So many times this year we've seen Ohio State only blitz from the line of scrimmage with linebackers walking up. This is a great disguise. Ohio State looks like they're playing some kind of zone coverage over here with the 3-on-2. These guys aren't showing anything in their stances. They're like, hey, it's 2nd and 2. Come on, we're going to play the run. And these guys are just great. It's low X blitz with Borland going first, taking out the guard, and Malik Harrison just having a kill shot on Shea Patterson. Really, I thought this play set the tone for the entire game.
How important is it here? Harrison gets the credit, but you talked about Borland taking on that. How important is that first guy through to set this up?
Huge, huge. If Tough Borland does not do his job right here and take the inside shoulder of the guard away to make him really turn his shoulders and open up this gap, this play doesn't happen. It is definitely a two-man stunt. It's the reason why it's a two-man stunt, and Tough Borland did everything to set this up.
And then this finish, the hit from Harrison, I mean, that looked like Zach Boren in 2012.
Man, that may have been better. He came with a little bit more speed than I came in 2012. But, man, like I said, that set the tone. I was at the game. This play got the stadium loud, and it set the tone for the entire game from a crowd standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, and I really think from an entire Ohio State standpoint, because people don't want to realize it, but that offense feeds off of the defense in the way they play.
And I'd say, and I asked Malik Harrison this after the game, it was probably the best game of his career. He lived up to that. And it wasn't just him, though. We're about to see here again another play from another one of those linebackers, a unit that we've talked about all season long, the ups and downs.
3rd and 6 at the 13. Patterson rolls, throws, caught, and dropped.
And then you have Pete Warner in a big-time situation. Score still close. I know that's something you always point to, Zach.
Yep.
You have a 7-3 game, and you have Pete Warner in coverage, isolated here one-on-one.
This is huge. It could have been 10-7 very easily, and this goes way different of a ball game. But instead, he makes this amazing play, keeps it 7-6. They're still ahead. This is huge. The linebackers had a coming-out party on Saturday, and we've been waiting all year for it. Tough Borland took control of that defense, was a leader, and you could see the other linebackers feed off of it. This is the way I have to say about this play. So many people hate the technique of not finding the ball, right? Of facing a receiver. Well, finally, people, this is why you face the receiver, right? If Warner looks for the ball in this situation, tight end catches this, and he probably has no idea where the ball is. Instead, he sees the hands going up, he reads the hands, swipes with his left arm and misses, comes back. If you go back to the other angle, you see it. Swipes with the left when he sees the hands, doesn't get it. He's going to come back and swipe with the right. and you see it right there. That is textbook. You can't play that any better from a defensive player standpoint, protecting a pass, especially that kind of pass play.
I think when you look at it, too, with that left hand going up, that was about as great of a throw as you could have made if you're Shea Patterson. Warner had good coverage. He nearly knocks it away with that left hand. And then you have to come in and make sure you finish with that right. I'm sure, I don't know how many times in a practice, Zach, that is drilled, but that looks like what you would put on the practice tape.
It's drilled all the time. And like I said, so many people from an outsider fan's perspective always want to wonder why the DBs don't find the football. What's this? They drill it all the time in practice. And like I said, if it weren't for him having this technique and him trying to find the football, it would have been a touchdown.
Patterson bounces out of the pocket, pursued, and intercepted. Fuller.
You have later in the game where Ohio State is really starting to pin its ears back. You see a couple big-time names, Jonathan Cooper, Chase Young chasing it down. I thought that the rushmen really had it going for the first time maybe in a few weeks, where you looked down there and you thought Nick Bosa wasn't missing, right? They were still able to generate that pressure without him.
God, this is such typical Ohio State defense, right? We love to see this. This is what Ohio State has made their name on for so long. Having four guys pin their ears back from a defensive line standpoint, guys playing some zone coverage behind, high safety, really being able to play really good defense, solid defense. I even like Malik Harrison. Yes, we've talked about it all season with a linebacker staying at the line. But what I love about Malik Harrison taking a step and holding the center is if Malik Harrison's not there, I know as a offensive line, if you run it back a little bit, you've got the tight end chipping. So if Malik Harrison's not here, what you're going to get is the center sliding right, guard sliding right, and these three on those two trying to help out. Because you've got the chip over here, so then you leave the 2-on-2 because this guy's going to hit him. Well, Malik Harrison holds the center here when the ball is snapped, holds him there for a second. You get the chip over there, but they're not able to slide out for a 3-on-2, and Chase Young's able to beat 71 with speed along the outside.
How about this effort here from Chase Young, and then what you see from Cooper there at the end? Looks like he gets a little bit of a hold.
Right. It gets held too, but at this point in the ball game, they knew Michigan was going to have to throw the ball. They knew number 2 was going to have to be their playmaker. And you see, look at this coverage down the field. You've got him short. You've got Jordan Fuller back here. You've got guys running with him down the middle. You still got that single high safety being able to help. This is typical Silver Bullet defense, and this is what can make this Ohio State defense go from good to great, which is what we saw Saturday.
And that's the right time of year to be doing it, obviously in that rivalry game, but then when you have championships, opportunities waiting behind that. Starting Saturday against Northwestern, Ohio State's got it rolling again. Zach Boren, I know, will be fired up watching those Silver Bullets one more time.
Well, I'm excited for Saturday. We talked about it for the past couple weeks. Is this team finally putting a game together from offense, defense, and special teams? We saw it. We saw how special this team can really be, how much talent they have, and we've seen it. After the game on Saturday through the weekend, the nation has taken notice of this Ohio State football team.
That's right. We'll see how much the playoff selection committee views that improvement or how highly they think of it. That's all coming for next week. We'll talk about that then after Ohio State plays Northwestern on Saturday in Indianapolis. Lettermen Row will be there covering it. And then once we get back, we'll be sitting down, as always, with Zach Boren to break it down here for BuckIQ. So for Zach Boren, I'm Austin Ward. We will see you next time at Lettermen Row.